Hello, welcome to rockacademy.com. My name is Mr. B, and you are watching our first video we have ever made for our new guitar instruction online site. This one is called The Newbie's Guide to Finding the Perfect Guitar, because doing this is a challenge and it has to be done right to help you learn. But first, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I've been playing guitar since I was 8 years old, and by the time I was 17, I was teaching guitar out of my parents' home. And here I am 4 decades later, still teaching, still passionate and crazy about guitar. I consider myself a singer-songwriter. I get involved in all the production I can and the backstage things. And now my latest passion here is Rock On Academy. So this is the beginning of what I consider a long, loving process. So what we're going to cover in this lesson is the different types of guitars that you can buy and how to work it within your budget. You know, as I've seen people that spend too little, people that spend too much. So you have to find a place because, you know, you might find that guitar's not and you're going to drop out. So you want to watch the cost and where to buy it. So there's 3 basic types of guitars that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about nylon strings, also known as classical, the ever popular steel string, and the always on demand and always in style electric guitar. Are you ready? Okay, nylon strings. You notice they have no dots. That's a wider neck, and that's so you can get your fingers in. You can do the strumming, and you can do the playing. They're really primarily designed for solo instruments, and they really are designed for serious guitar parts. Usually, if you're going to go to school and you're going to study in music, this is what you're going to play. But look at what Willie Nelson has done, Jose Feliciano, Mason Williams. Merle Anderson is a contemporary that's one of my favorites. But it's for serious students of music will like the nylon and will study it to go through there. It's also used for Latin, Spanish, flamenco. And if you have a child that's going to go through the Suzuki method, this is the guitar of choice. They have beautiful guitar ensembles. It's also a quiet guitar. And tones, that's good, and that's sometimes not what you want, because you're not going to be rocking out in these. And the wider neck makes it harder to play and learn chords. And frankly, I don't recommend these as starter guitars for my students. So unless the parents already bought it, I try to steer them to other places. The changing strings are hard, the guitars are breakable and fragile, so there's a lot of things to think about if you're going to get one of these. Let's talk about the steel string. The steel string is really kind of the pickup truck of guitars. It can do just about anything. You can get them in electric, non-electric, great for rock, blues, and country. And it's really all about the wood that makes the sound. A good guitar will improve with age. I do find that young children find it hard sometimes to play these, and they get discouraged when they put their little fingers on that metal. They're like, "Oh, that hurts so much." But you know, if they just push through it, that goes away within 2 to 3 weeks after starting guitar. But my daughter had a problem with that. Anyway, they're not typically designed for playing fast, and you know, there's been great guitarists that have taken it to new stages. Let's talk about the electric. The electric guitar is easier to play, and you can play it faster, and it has a narrower, long neck, which makes you do a lot that you can't do in any other guitars. And because of that, it's very motivating. And sometimes when I have students in a slump, I'll switch them to electric, and it works every time. You can also get good quality for that. But they are designed to play with others. You need to buy initial gear. You can have technical problems. People are going to ask you to turn it down, and it's an addictive, expensive habit, but boy is it fun. There's other things to keep in mind about all guitars. They're left-handed and right-handed. Now, left-handeds, I've seen them play it upside down, but it is something to keep into consideration that you may, before you start playing, you have to figure out what you are. Other important considerations for our little tykes, we have half size and we have 3/4 size. So if you're a little tiny, a big guitar might be a problem and get in the way of learning. So you have to get something that right fits to you. The traits of a good guitar, there's a couple things you can do. What I like to do is I like to press down at the 12th fret, that usually has double dots, and hit it while open. And that should be the same note but octave difference. And if it doesn't sound on, it might be a problem with the guitar. Also, the tuning head should go tune smoothly and not resist too much. And this might sound strange, but you're going to have many guitars, or you know, if you're like most of us. The first one should be very playable and easy to play. Sound is not as important as playability. You'll be able to get, and with electric you can always do other things, but don't get too caught up in the sound where you have a guitar that's hard to play. Invest in a case. They're not as expensive as they used to. You can get cases for less than $100. How much should you pay for a guitar? Well, I say for acoustic between $80 to $300. Electric guitars between $100 to $300. Amplifiers $100 to $300. You should be able to get a good package deal on electric for about $250. And again, this is just guidelines. You want to pay more, you can, but it's not necessary. Used guitars can be good, and I like used guitars, but you really need to have an experienced guitarist help you check one out. Where to buy? Just avoid the big box stores. Don't go and buy from a place that sells other things. You got to go to people that specialize in music. And you have local stores and you have internet. I have an Amazon affiliate site that I've picked out guitars that I think are good starters, and you can go to that. It doesn't cost any more than if you go into Amazon, but that small percentage I get for my site is what pays to keep mine open. So I appreciate if you take a look, and if I can help you, that's great. Well, thank you very much. I hope that's helped, and rock on. Send me a message, visit my site, and drop me a message once you get there.